Okay, this one of the things that we need for the table is going to be a 324T frame electric motor with a base mounting with feet mounting, and to do that, we've got to. I find the easiest way is to pull the motor off the WEG or WEG website. Um, I got to this page through the because I'm in Canada. I went to the Canadian WEG portal. It's sometimes a little hard to find, so basically it's weg.net, and what you're looking for is the CAD library, the electric motors, 2D and 3D drawings. Really good for getting all sorts of motors. So I'm just clicking on the 3D and 2D motor drawings here, and you can see they give you access to DXF or AutoCAD, IGES, which is a North American 3D standard, allows you to load 3D models into just about any software, whether it's Inventor, SolidWorks, or whatever system you might be using. There's also SAT or ASIS used for the same sorts of purposes. STEP is a 3D import for that's a standard. It's a European standard that's favored in Germany and other countries. The Parasolid is something for Pro Engineer. But so lots of options there. You can import these motors in. And I'm going to download a North American standard. So I'm going to look at the Nema classification here. And you can see this little sketch on the WEG website. Basically, it tells you whether you want the junction box for the wiring on the left-hand side, the right, or the top. So there's three different choices for every single motor, and there's tons of motors here. So lots of things to think about. So I'm just going to click on the Nema classification, and I end up with my first level of categories of motors. I'm just going to go for the general purpose motor. And sometimes I use the pump motors. So there's those two types of motors here, but they have motors for just about every purpose. So we'll just go for the general purpose, the ones that we use most of the time. And now we get into all the different frame sizes. I wanted a 324T, so this folder here is the 324T. And we've got standard and with flange. I just want the standard base mounting. So I'm going to go with that. Now I pick the software I need to use. Now I want to use it with SolidWorks, so I think I'm going to use the IGES format, because I can open that up with just about any version of SolidWorks, and works fine. Now there's the three classifications here. You got the left junction box, the right junction box, or the top. Probably best to download all three, because you don't know in the beginning which one you're going to end up using. It depends a lot on where the access for wiring is going to be. So you might need to switch them around if the need comes around. So I'll just download the left, but ultimately I'll have to end up downloading them all. And of course we just save this to the folder. I'll just save it in my documents folder, and it comes down as a zip file. I'll just open that file and save that out. And I'll just save it in my documents folder again. So that's how you find a motor for that you need for the blower table. And this is now a part file, so I better get started on the assembly. New assembly, and we'll insert the table here, because that's going to be the beginning of everything. And I can probably open in Documents. Let's find that. Let's find that 324 left. There it is. And if I open an IGES file, find the IGES classification there and click that and open it. Takes a little while to read it in. The nice thing about IGES files is STEP and all those things, you can bring them into just about any CAD program. And they're usually, you're going to use them with things that you don't need to change. I've also tried to find, you can sometimes find these motors on the free 3D Content Central, but sometimes you could be lucky and find good stuff on there. But the trouble is, it depends very much on how well curated, how well the people describe the items, and sometimes it's very. You spend an awful lot of time trying to find something on 3D Content Central. It's often quicker to draw the thing yourself. But sometimes, though, you can find some really good stuff on there. So that's another good place to look if you need to import some motors or gear reducers or things that you might be looking for. Okay, so finally I've got my WEG motor imported. They had a dialog box saying if you want to run import diagnostics on the part and turn it into a part file, but I'm not going to have it automatically go through and make all the features for it. It's fine the way it is. And but I want to save it out as a SolidWorks part. So we'll do that and just save it as a part file so I can, just for the convenience of being able to pull it in without converting it. So we'll just save that out and go back to the assembly, and I'm going to save this assembly. So I haven't done that yet, and that's going into Documents in the same folder. That'll be fine for now. We'll just call this blower table assembly. Let's save it out, and we'll need to just get that motor in here. Insert component existing. Always got to have that part open if you want to be able to just insert it very easily. You can also drag and drop them in too. But so I'll put the motor in, and so the motor is going to end up in this area of the table, and we're going to have to come up with some kind of sliding plate to move it back and forth to tighten the belt. But the next thing I'm going to have to worry about is the blower and some of the other components that we're going to be piling on this table.